Very good afternoon to one and all. I welcome you all for the next practical session of heat transfer subject. Please let me know whether my voice is audible and can you see my presentation? Great, great. Okay, so shall we start now? So in the last yesterday's practical session, we have discussed about the performance of parallel flow and counter flow heat exchanger. Okay, and today also we are going to discuss one more type of a heat exchanger, that is nothing but a heat pipe. Okay, so this is one kind of a compact heat exchanger. Okay, so most of the electronic devices uh, which require the cooling process very fast, or the instantaneous cooling process is required. In that case, the heat pipes plays very important role. Now we have already discussed about the theory part of a heat pipe, in that we have discussed that the heat pipe doesn't have any moving part, or it does not require any. 1 minute. Okay, so heat pipe does not require any external energy to perform the operation, transportation of heat from one location to another location. That operation is performed by the heat pipe without any external energy source. Okay, and there is no any moving part required. Okay, so as we know that in case of refrigerator, if you want to remove out the heat from the products that you have placed in the refrigerator, for that reason we required one external source of energy, or a moving part, that is nothing but a compressor, which drive the refrigerator process. But in heat pipe case, there will not there is no requirement for any external device or any external energy source. So uh, whatever the operations are performed, that operations are inbuilt inside that particular heat pipe. Okay, and this heat pipes takes the help of latent heat of evaporation for the working fluid, and latent heat of a condensation for the working fluid, and on the basis of that two heats only, uh, the whole working of the heat pipe can be carried out. Okay, now we have discussed that there are two important sections in a heat pipe, that is nothing but evaporative section and a condenser section. If you see this particular diagram, then you're going to know that this one kind of a vessel is there. Okay, and which is sealed at both the ends. Okay, the heat pipe is always sealed at both the ends, so that it should be separated, or we can say that it should be isolated from the external environment. Okay, it should be isolated from the external environment, but that the heat pipes are closed at their both the ends. Okay, now the important part is nothing but in this particular heat pipe is weak structure. Okay, weak structure. Now this weak structures is placed over the inner surface of the pipe. Okay, inner surface of the pipe, and this weak structure act as a we can say that it will make the operation of a transportation of a fluid from condenser section to the evaporative section by capillary action. Okay, let us understand the working of this particular heat pipe. First of all, we try to understand the evaporative section. So evaporative section is placed near to the heat source. Okay, from where we want to carry out the heat, and transport to another location. So at that location, source location, this evaporative area or evaporative part is placed. Okay. Now the heat source is continuously releasing the heat. That heat will be provided to this evaporative section. Okay. Now initially, if you consider that the working fluid, okay, in this case we have to consider, we are going to consider the distilled water, or in our in our experiment the distilled water is used as working fluid in a heat pipe. Okay. So this working fluid is present, uh, this working fluid is present in this evaporative section in a liquid form. Okay. Once the heat will received by this pipe from the source, that heat will be provided to that particular working fluid. Okay. It will be, that working fluid will absorb the heat from the surface or from the this from this work from this wick structure. And once this heat is given to that particular working fluid, the liquid will get evaporated, okay, by absorbing latent heat of evaporation, by absorbing latent heat of evaporation. Now, once this liquid will get converted into vapor form, due to the pressure difference, these vapors are traveled from evaporative section to the condenser section, okay, from this evaporative section to the condenser section. And when it reached to the condenser section is placed where the heat sink is present, where the heat sink is present. So in PCs, computer PCs are there. So fan is provided as a heat sink, which will remove out the heat from the condenser section. Okay, where this particular condenser section is placed at the heat sink location. Means what? Where this heat pipe will release the heat to the external environment. At that location, this condenser section is placed. Now, when the vapor reach to this condenser section, due to the low temperature surrounding to this condenser section, due to that, the heat will be released by the vapor fluid to the surface. Okay, heat will be released by vapor to the surface, and surface will release the heat to the external environment. Okay, now this heat is nothing but the latent heat. Okay, this vapor will release the latent heat of condensation to this particular surface, and surface will release that particular heat to the external environment. Okay, so once the latent heat will be removed out from the vapor will get condensed in a liquid format. Vapor get condensed in a liquid format, and this particular liquid which is present in a condenser section will be absorbed by the wicking material or wick structure which is present in the heat pipe. Okay, and the main function of this wicking material is to transport this liquid from condenser section to the evaporative section, from condenser section to the evaporative section. And once again this liquid is present, or working fluid is present in a evaporative section in a liquid format for absorbing of a latent heat from the source. Okay, now this action of transportation of liquid from condenser section, working fluid in a liquid format from condenser section to the evaporative section, is happen because of a capillary action, okay. And also we have discussed that this capillary action will be affected by the gravitational force. Okay, so in that case we have discussed that when the evaporative section is at the bottom side and the condenser section is at the top side, or if you say that if you in upward direction, okay, and this evaporative side in a downward direction, in that case what will happen? The fluid, whatever liquid is present in a condenser section, that will be moved very fastly from evaporate condenser section to the evaporative section. So that tilt okay, or this raising of this condenser side above the location of a evaporative side, that will be that tilt or raising will be considered as the favorable tilt. Okay, favorable tilt. And when this particular heat pipe is vertical, at that time we will get the maximum efficiency. Will get the maximum efficiency. And if you raise this evaporative section above the location of a condenser section, then in that case, we will get the lower efficiency of heat pipe, and that tilt will be called as a adverse tilt. That tilt is called as a adverse tilt. Okay, so that is about the theory part. Now, before filling the liquid inside this particular section, uh, the vacuum is created first of all inside the pipe. Okay, the vacuum is created inside the pipe, and then the working fluid is filled inside the pipe. Okay, inside the heat pipe, and then the heat pipe is sealed from both the sides. Okay, so this is about the evaporative section and the condenser section. Now the middle portion remaining than this particular evaporative section and condenser section. So middle part, whatever over here you can see here, the middle part is there. So in that particular middle part of a heat pipe, the vapors are present in a the working fluid is present in a core part. Okay, in a vapor format. Okay, working fluid is present in a core part in a vapor format. Okay, whereas in a weak structure, the liquid is present, and these both the fluids are flowing opposite to each other. Okay, this both the fluids are flowing in opposite direction to each other. Okay, so that middle part is called as a adiabatic part or adiabatic section of a heat pipe. Okay, adiabatic section of a heat pipe. Okay, getting everyone now. This middle part is also covered with some insulating material, asbestos rope insulating material. Okay, to reduce the heat loss from this side to the external environment. Okay, sometimes this is covered with the insulating material. Okay, and this side is exposed to the source where the heat source is present, and this side or the condenser side is exposed to the heat sinks where the heat is rejected to the external environment. Okay, now apparatus part we are going to, in this particular experiment we are going to compare the three different pipes. First one is the heat pipe, second one is the copper pipe, and third one is the GI pipe. Now, in these three pipes, what we are going to compare? Actually, there will not be any calculation part about this experiment. Just we have to take the temperatures at three different locations, and we have to compare that which pipe provides you the maximum performance, or which pipe transfer the maximum heat from source to the sink location. Okay, from source to the sink location. So first pipe is a heat pipe. Okay, so just now we have discussed the theory part of a heat pipe, and the working of a heat pipe. Second pipe we can consider as a normal copper pipe, and third pipe is a galvanized iron pipe, normal galvanized iron pipe. And over this particular three pipes, okay, over this, and the dimensions are same for the three pipes. Okay, that will be the initial condition to perform the experiment, that the length and diameter whatever we are going to consider for three different pipes, that length and the diameter will be same for all three pipes. Okay, now the bottom part of all three pipes, at the bottom part of all three pipes, the heater is provided which will be act as a heat source. Okay, and to measure the temperatures at bottom side, three thermocouples are provided. So T1 thermocouple which will measure the heat source temperature or the evaporative section temperature for the heat pipe. The bottom side will be considered as a evaporative section, and the T1 thermocouple will measure the temperature of evaporative section of a heat pipe. Then T3 temperature thermocouple will measure the copper pipe bottom side temperature, and T5 thermocouple will measure the temperature of galvanized iron pipe at the bottom side. Then in a similar fashion, the T2, T4, and T6 thermocouples are placed just below the heat sink, just below the heat sink. So T2 thermocouple will measure the condenser section temperature for the heat pipe. Okay, T2 thermocouple will measure the condenser section temperature for the heat pipe. Similarly, T5, T4 thermocouple will measure the temperature of copper pipe at another end, and T6 thermocouple will measure the temperature of GI pipe at another end. Okay, and at the top side of each pipe, okay, at the top side of each pipe, the water bath is provided. Means one tank is provided. Okay, which is having 1 liter capacity, and equal quantity of water is poured in this particular 3 tanks. Okay, equal quantity of water will have poured in this particular 3 tanks. So that will we can say that whatever the conditions are there, geometric conditions and the thermal condition, so same conditions are provided to these 3 different pipes. Okay, heat pipe, copper pipe, and galvanized iron pipe. And the T7 thermocouple will measure the temperature of this particular water bath for heat pipe. Okay, and T8 thermocouple will measure the temperature of copper pipe water bath, or copper pipe water. Okay, and T9 thermocouple will measure the temperature of water which is poured in the tank of a GI pipe. Okay, and these 3 tanks will be act as a heat sink for this particular pipes. Okay, for this particular pipe. Now the experiment setup is shown in figure. It consists of 3 pipes such as heat pipe, copper pipe, GI pipe, having the same dimension. Distilled water is used as a working fluid. Heat pipe gives maximum efficiency when it is vertical. The lower part of a heat pipe is acting as an evaporator, and the upper part as a condenser. The condenser tank having 1 liter capacity and is fitted at top portion of each pipe, in which the same quantity of water is poured. Same wattage heater is mounted at bottom portion to each pipe, and same power is given to each heater for comparison of the 3 pipes. Okay, so comparison in such a manner that we have provided the equal condition for all 3 pipes, and then we are measuring the temperature of each pipe at bottom section, at top section, and the temperature of that particular condenser liquid, or we can say that uh, the water jacket whatever provided at the top of each pipe. Okay, that three temperatures we are going to measure. So initial observation to carry out the performance of a heat pipe, that is nothing but diameter of each pipe is equal to 38 mm, then length of each pipe is equal to 270 mm. Then we have to measure the voltage supplied to the each heater. To each heater we are going to supply the same amount of voltage, or same amount of power, so that the voltage and currents for each heater will be same one. Okay, so then we have to consider this particular observation table. So observation table, in that serial number, type of a pipe, location of a thermocouple, and time in minute. Okay, we have to consider the different readings for a different timing. So when we start the performance, actual performance, then we have to take the readings for heat pipe. So T1 and T2 will measure the temperatures of evaporator and condenser, whereas T7 will measure the temperature of water bath. Okay, for the heat pipe. In a similar fashion, for the copper pipe, T3 and T4 will measure the temperature of bottom side and the top side, and T8 will measure the temperature of a water bath. And for the GI pipe, T5, T6 will measure the temperature of bottom side and top side of the pipe, and T9 will measure the temperature of water jacket or water bath. Okay, so in this manner we have to take the readings. Then how to compare these 3 pipes? Okay, let us say we are getting the temperature of 30 degrees Celsius over here for the heat pipe, and T2 temperature as 33 degrees Celsius, and T7 as a 32 degrees Celsius temperature. Okay, and in this case we get the temperature of 32 for the bottom side and 36 at the top side and 35 for the water. Okay, then if you say that in this case you get the temperature of 38, 30, and here also 31. Okay, so if you get such a readings, then how to compare these three pipes? Okay, let us say that at the bottom side of a heat pipe or at the evaporative section we are getting a 30 degrees Celsius temperature, but at the condenser side we get the 30. Oh, okay, so here I made a mistake. 28 less than the source side. 28, 27, 32. 32, let us say 20, 25, and this is also 25. If 38, 30, and 31. Okay, so we are getting such a readings. Okay, then how to compare these three particular pipes? So take the difference of bottom side temperature and the top side temperature. So the temperature difference is very less in case of a heat pipe. Okay, you can see that 30 minus 28. So it is having only 2 degrees Celsius temperature difference. Whereas in case of a copper pipe, let us see that the 32 bottom side temperature is 32 degrees Celsius and top side temperature is 25 degrees Celsius. So temperature difference is 7 degrees Celsius, okay, in case of a copper pipe. And in GI pipe, the bottom side temperature or source side temperature is 38 degrees Celsius and the top side temperature of that particular pipe is 30 degrees Celsius. So the temperature difference is 8 degrees Celsius in this case of a GI pipe. So we can say that the heat pipe is having maximum efficiency to transfer the heat from the evaporative section to the condenser section as compared to the copper pipe and GI pipe. Okay, as compared to the copper pipe and GI pipe. Okay, whether you understood? So because of this temperature difference, okay, if the temperature difference is lesser, then in that case that particular pipe will transport maximum number of heat, okay, maximum amount of heat. And if the temperature difference is more, then that particular pipe is inefficient to transfer the large amount of heat from one location to another location. Okay, so in this manner we have to compare these three pipes. Okay, we have to compare this pipe three pipes. So these readings I have provided for the understanding purpose. We will go to the uh, HT lab and we will take directly readings. Okay, so if you have any doubt you can ask now only in theory part. Is there any doubt, any question? So you plot this particular table initially and then we will take the readings. You plot this graph, you plot this particular table. Okay. Nice. Okay. Have you plotted this particular table? Then I will stop presentation from here and I will present from HT Lab. Okay, please let me know that whether you can see the presentation and can you hear my voice? Rajwal, can you hear me? Yes. Okay, great. 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 Okay, so you can see here, this is the actual apparatus for heat pipe demonstration. Now here, the three pipes we have placed, first of all. So the first one is nothing but a heat pipe. This is the heat pipe which is sealed at both the ends. So you can see here, it is sealed from top side. Similarly, it is also sealed from the bottom side. Okay. The second pipe is, you can see here inside, the second pipe is the copper pipe and the third pipe is GI pipe. Okay. Third pipe is GI pipe. Now, at the bottom side, if you look at the bottom side of this particular three pipes, these are covered by asbestos rope. Okay, that will avoid the heat loss from the surface to the external environment. And on each pipe, the heaters are provided. This one, the first heater, second heater, third heater. Okay, so in this manner, three heaters are provided to each pipe, and the same amount of power supply is provided to each pipe. Okay, now here you can see that the T1 thermocouple is placed over the evaporative section for the heat pipe. Similarly, here also one thermocouple is placed over the bottom side of copper pipe, and one thermocouple is placed at the bottom side of GI pipe. Okay, now this is the bottom side arrangement, and at the top side the water jackets are provided to each pipe. Okay, water jackets are provided to each pipe, so that water jacket will be act as a heat sink. Okay, whatever the heat transferred from bottom side to the top side, that will be released to this particular water. Okay, which is present over here for the water bath. And uh, and you can see here that one thermocouple will measure the water temperature. Okay, one is inserted directly inside the water, and that will measure the water temperature, and another thermocouple is just below this particular water jacket, and that will measure the temperature of that particular pipe at the top side. Okay, so in case of a heat pipe, the second thermocouple will measure the condenser side temperature. Okay, for the heat pipe, second thermocouple will measure the condenser side temperature, and whereas for other two pipes, the second thermocouple will measure the temperature of top side of that particular pipe. Okay, and third thermocouple, in each water bath, water jacket, we have placed one thermocouple. That particular third thermocouple will measure the temperature of a water which is present in that particular jacket. Okay, so simple arrangement for the performance purpose. Now here there is a thermostat, and by using the thermostat we can vary the input power to the heater. Okay, so same power supply is provided to three heaters, the three heaters having the same wattages. Okay, so the condition is same for all three pipes, so that will be beneficial for the simple comparison. Okay, now here you can take first of all readings of voltage and current. Okay, so voltage reading is 64, and current reading is 0.898. Okay, 0.89. Anyone, Sachin, anyone from batch want to take the reading?
Okay, Dhanashri, you have to take the readings. Sonu ne Dhanashri. Okay, take the reading for the voltage, that is 64.
Okay, reading for voltage is 64. Okay, anyone take the readings? Reading for voltage is 64, and for the current is 0.893. Okay, then once you take the reading of this voltage and current, then we will directly go for the temperature readings. Okay, now you have an idea that where is the placement of each thermocouple. Okay, so for the understanding purpose here also, for the demonstration purpose, they have provided the thermocouple arrangement. So heat pipe, on the surface of a heat pipe, T1 and T2 thermocouple is placed, and for the measurement of a water temperature for the heat pipe, T7 thermocouple is provided. Then T3 and T4 is placed over the copper pipe on bottom side and the top side, and T8 thermocouple is placed in a water jacket to measure the temperature of water for the water jacket of copper pipe, and then GI pipe having the thermocouples of T5 at the bottom side and T6 at the top side, whereas T9 thermocouple will measure the temperature of water for the water jacket of GI pipe. Okay, so simply we have to take the readings. Okay, initially after starting of uh, because it required too much time to take the reading, 75 after 75 minutes we have to take the reading. So we have taken these readings after starting this experiment, and we'll take two more readings or one more reading to understand you. Okay, so how to take the readings? So first of all, we'll start with the T1. Okay, so T1 is, now you can see that T1 is nothing but evaporation temperature of heat pipe. Okay, evaporation section surface temperature of a heat pipe. So T1 we will take as 43. Then T2. T2 is the condenser side section, condenser side temperature of a heat pipe, and it is equal to 30. Then T3. T3 is the bottom side temperature of copper pipe, and it is equal to 52. Then T4. T4 is the top side temperature of a copper pipe, and it is equal to 28. Then T5. T5 is the bottom side temperature for the GI pipe, and it is equal to 55. Then T6 is the top side temperature for the GI pipe, and it is equal to 33. Now 6 temperatures we have taken on the surface. Now water jacket temperature. Here you can see that T7 represent the water jacket temperature for the heat pipe. So that we have to consider now. T7, T7 we are getting 33. T7 we get 33. Then T8, it's functioning proper. Okay, T8 is not working. T9, T9 we are getting 27. Okay,
26.
27. And initially, actually it is working previously. T8. नाही होत. Problem झाला. Okay, so initially we have taken the readings for T8, and our last reading was 25 degrees Celsius for the T8. So we'll take 1 degree Celsius extra, and it is equal to 26. Okay. Now, if you compare these readings, okay, now here you can see, so T1 temperature is 43 and T2 is 31 degrees Celsius, okay, 43 minus 31, that will be equal to 11 degrees Celsius temperature difference. We will get 12 degrees Celsius temperature difference we will get for the heat pipe from bottom to top. Then in case of a copper pipe, we have 52 degrees Celsius temperature for the bottom side, and for the top side, T4, we are having 28 degrees Celsius. So how much difference? 52 minus 28. Okay, so very large difference you can see in case of a copper pipe. So near about 24-25 degrees Celsius temperature difference in between in between source side and the sink side. Whereas in case of a galvanized iron pipe, so source side or the bottom side temperature is 56 degrees Celsius, and the top side temperature is 33 degrees Celsius. Okay, that is also 23, near about 23 degrees Celsius temperature difference you can see in case of a galvanized iron pipe. So simple comparison, simple comparison. So in case of a heat pipe, we are getting very less temperature difference. So in case of a heat pipe, we can say that there is very less temperature gradient, and because of that, the heat pipes are having more efficient to transfer the maximum amount of heat from source location to the sink location, from source location to the sink location. So that will be our final outcome. That will be our final outcome. So in this experiment, you don't have any calculation part. You just take the reading and conclude that reading with statement. Conclude that reading with statement. Getting everyone? Is there any question, any doubt? Okay. So shall we stop now? The performance part. Then we'll go for the readings. Okay. I will provide you all the readings in the table format. Okay. If you have any doubt, any question, you can ask now only. Okay, so I will provide you the final readings from the PC. I will present from the PC now. So observations, voltage supply to each heater we are getting equal to 64, and current is near about 0.9, 0.89, 0.89 ampere. Okay, and for the 15-minute reading, after 15 minutes we are getting the reading as T1 as 33, T2 as 23, then T7 as 23, then T3 equal to 43, then T4 equal to 24, then T8 equal to 22, then T5 equal to 42, T6 26, and T9 24. Okay, so that readings we have taken initially only to reduce the time for the performance. Then for 30 minutes we can consider the readings as T1 as 40, T2 as 27, T3, okay, T7 equal to 29, then T3 50, T4 26, and T8 24, and for galvanized pipe T5 53, T6 31, and T9 25. Then third reading after 45 minutes, it is equal to T1 42, T2 29, T7 31, T3 52, T4 27, T8 25, T5 55, T6 32, and T9 as 26. Okay, and further the fourth reading, okay, we will consider this as the last reading. T1 43, T2 30, T7 33, T3 52, T4 28, T8 26, T5 55, T6 33, and last one T9 27. Okay, so compare the results, compare the readings, and after comparing, what you come to know. So if you compare the final reading, okay, or else we'll discussion. Okay, discussion. What we are getting? First point. After comparing surface temperature difference we come to know that in case of heat pipe, less temperature difference observed as compared to other two pipes. Second, in case of heat pipe, the temperature of water is more as compared to other two pipe. Okay, so let us see that the water temperatures. So for GI pipe, T9 thermocouple will measure the water temperature and it is equal to 27 degrees Celsius. Then for copper pipe, T8 thermocouple will measure the temperature of water and it is equal to 26 degrees Celsius. And for heat pipe, for very small inlet temperature also we are getting, as compared to other two pipes, the source temperature for the heat pipe is very less. Then also we are getting the sink temperature maximum as compared to the other two pipes. So we can write in case of heat pipe, the temperature of water is more as compared to other two pipe. Okay, so result what you can write, or here result is not a proper word, so conclusion we can write. Conclusion, what is our conclusion? The heat pipe is more efficient to transfer maximum heat from source location to sink location. Getting? The heat pipe is more efficient to transfer maximum heat from source location to sink location. That will be your conclusion in this particular experiment. Okay, so is there any doubt, any question in this experimentation part? So whatever I have given on this particular Word file, that much write-up part you have to write for the experiment, 5th number experiment. So I forgot yesterday to share the 4th number experiment. That will also I will share today only, and this experiment also. Okay, is there any doubt, any question? If not, then put up your roll numbers in the chat box and you can leave.